Ladies and gentlemen, football fans across the nation, stop what you're doing because we've got some truly jaw-dropping, league-shaking news that just dropped like a thunderbolt across the NFL landscape, and if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you're going to want to sit down for this one. Gus Edwards, yes, that Gus the Bus Edwards, the powerful, downhill running bruiser who made a name for himself with the Baltimore Ravens and most recently suited up for the Chargers, is now a Dallas Cowboy, and his move could completely change the dynamic of the NFC race going into the 2025 season. Let's talk about the absolute firestorm this creates, because this isn't just a player swap, this is a statement, a bold message sent by Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office that says loud and clear, we're not just here to compete. We're here to win. For those who might not be fully caught up, Gus Edwards has spent the majority of his career being one of the most consistent, hard-nosed, and underappreciated running backs in the league. Despite rarely being given the full reins as a bell cow starter, Gus has delivered year in and year out with remarkable efficiency. He's a north-south runner, a no-nonsense type of back who doesn't dance around behind the line. He hits the hole with violence, breaks through arm tackles, and punishes defenders at the second level. Over his career, he's averaged well over 4 yards per carry and has built a reputation for being a reliable red zone threat. And now, this physical specimen, standing at 6'1", 238 pounds of sheer muscle and grit, is bringing his talents to Dallas, where the Cowboys are clearly building something special and need a new spark in the backfield. Now let's put this in context. The Cowboys' run game over the past few years has had its share of highs and lows. After moving on from Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard emerged as the lead back, showing explosive speed and vision, but questions have lingered about his durability and ability to carry a full season workload, especially after coming off a significant leg injury. While Pollard has game-breaking ability and is dangerous in open space, the Cowboys have missed having that thunder to Pollard's lightning, the kind of back who can move the chains on third and short, wear down defenses in the fourth quarter, and slam the ball into the end zone inside the 5-yard line. That's precisely where Gus Edwards comes into the picture. This is a perfect fit from a football perspective because it allows the Cowboys to diversify their offensive playbook and control the pace of the game more effectively. With Gus in the fold, expect to see more I formation, more power running, more two-back sets with Pollard or Dowdle splitting out or working in motion. This move allows head coach Mike McCarthy and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer to dial up creative packages, rotate fresh legs throughout the game, and unleash a backfield that can keep defensive coordinators guessing all 4 quarters. Imagine lining up against a Cowboys offense where you have to respect the quick-hit passing game, account for CeeDee Lamb out wide, Brandon Cooks over the top, and then boom, here comes Gus Edwards through the A-gap like a freight train. That kind of versatility and physicality opens up the entire offense. But this trade isn't just about scheme, it's about mentality. This is about culture. Gus Edwards brings a veteran presence, playoff experience, and a grinder's mentality that fits right in with the storied toughness of the Dallas Cowboys' legacy. This is a team that prides itself on dominating in the trenches, especially behind a rebuilt and still formidable offensive line led by Zach Martin and Tyler Smith. With Gus Edwards, the Cowboys now have a back who can maximize that blocking. He doesn't need a ton of room to get going. He makes decisive cuts and gets north-south in a hurry. This is a guy who can take a handoff on 2nd and 7 and turn it into a 3rd and 2, setting the offense up for manageable conversions. And let's talk goal line efficiency, something the Cowboys have struggled with in recent years. Gus Edwards has been one of the most effective red zone running backs in the league, and that's not just eye test, that's backed by the numbers. He has consistently ranked among the top backs in terms of percentage of runs that convert inside the 10-yard line. That's not just a statistic, that's impact. That's how you win close games in December. That's how you keep your quarterback upright and off the turf. That's how you close out games when you're protecting a lead in the fourth quarter. That's how champions are made. Now, there's more to this than just X's and O's. This is also about strategy, cap flexibility, and long-term roster construction. The Cowboys didn't break the bank for Gus Edwards, which makes this move even smarter. They're getting a veteran power back at tremendous value, and with young talent like Rico Dowdle still developing, and the potential for the team to draft or sign another young back to groom, they've now bought themselves both time and options. Instead of being forced to overuse Pollard, the Cowboys can now preserve his health and extend his effectiveness by utilizing him more strategically, especially on outside zones, screen passes, and mismatches against linebackers in the passing game. Meanwhile, Gus can handle the dirty work between the tackles, absorb contact, and grind down defensive fronts. And let's not overlook locker room chemistry. Edwards is known as a consummate professional, a quiet leader, and a player who lets his performance do the talking. That fits perfectly into the Cowboys' evolving culture under McCarthy, where accountability, toughness, and resilience are being emphasized. This move also raises the stakes for the entire NFC East. Let's not forget, this division is one of the most competitive in football, with the Eagles always lurking, the Commanders in the midst of a rebuild with intriguing young talent, and the Giants looking to bounce back. Adding Gus Edwards is a calculated shot across the bow. Dallas is not waiting around. They are gearing up for a serious postseason run, and they are doing it with clear eyes and full hearts. The media will try to spin this as a depth signing or a safety net, but make no mistake, this is a weapon. A full-blown, helmet-cracking, shoulder-lowering offensive weapon that defenses will have to game plan around. And don't sleep on how this benefits Dak Prescott either. With a more consistent running game, play action becomes more effective. Blitzes become easier to diagnose. The offense becomes more balanced, and with less pressure on Doc to carry the team week in and week out, he can play freer, smarter, and more efficiently. Now I know some fans might be skeptical. After all, Edwards is coming off a season with moderate usage. But sometimes a player just needs the right system, the right opportunity, and the right moment to shine, and this, right here, is that moment. Dallas is giving Gus Edwards the chance to remind the league exactly what he's capable of. And let me tell you something, when Gus Edwards gets a head of steam going, when that motor starts revving, when he lowers those pads and squares his shoulders, there are very few defenders in the league who want to be on the receiving end of that hit. This is a running back who has built his career on toughness, and now, in the most high-profile market in football, with the brightest lights and the biggest stage, he's about to show the world that he's got plenty of gas left in the tank. So, Cowboys Nation, I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready for a revitalized rushing attack? Are you ready for more balance, more power, and more control at the line of scrimmage? Are you ready for a season where the Cowboys don't just talk about making a deep playoff run but actually have the tools to make it happen? Because this move, this moment, this breaking news about Gus Edwards joining the Dallas Cowboys, it might not be the flashiest headline, but it could very well be the most important one when we look back at this season months from now. Circle this day. Remember it, because this is the day the Dallas Cowboys made a statement. This is the day they took one step closer to building a roster that can go the distance. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more breaking news and deep analysis, and drop a comment below. What do you think Gus Edwards will bring to this offense? How does this reshape the Cowboys' playoff chances? I want to hear your thoughts, because Cowboys Nation, it's about to be one wild ride. Until next time, this is your host signing off. Stay loud, stay proud, and as always, how about them Cowboys?